Hello, happy Monday. So today I am going to be making something a little different. I'm going to be making a journal card, but I'm not going to do it with paper. I'm going to do it on my computer with the help of Inkscape. So let's get started. We're going to need three things, kind of like how we get our supplies ready when we go to make a project. So the things that we need, I have gone ahead and already put in a file folder. I'm going to need a background. I'm going to need some lines, and I'm going to need a focal point. So these are our supplies. So we're going to go back out here and we're going to go to Inkscape. And let me just make sure that I am where you can see my screen. Okay, so in Inkscape, it's a little bit like we have a project in front of us and we have to layer things one on top of the other or sometimes underneath one another. So we're going to go get started. And right now in Inkscape, we are not going to pay attention a lot to the size, and I will explain that in a little bit. Anytime you want to do work in Inkscape, you always want to import. If you open, I personally don't do that. I always import. So the very first thing that I want is my background. So here comes my background. And I just always make it a little bit bigger so that I can work in it. And I'm gonna, yeah, we're okay. Okay, so that's my background. Now, that's like putting down a piece of paper. And now what I want to do is I want to create an invisible layer. So I go up here and I've got layers and objects where I can view. Otherwise, I'm going to add a layer, and that's what I want. I want to add a layer on top of my background. So this is the dialog box that will come up, and it's going to say, what do you want to name your layer? I always just leave them, but I want to make sure that this is going to be on top of my background. So I say add. So right now, you don't see anything. If you come over here in this, it shows three small pieces of film, paper, whatever. Click on that and you will start to see you're in image this and you've created layer one and that image is on layer one, but you are now on layer two. Even though you can't see it, you're on layer two. So then I want to come back over here and I want to import again. And this time I'm going to grab my bird. Hello. And I'm going to say, Mr. Bird, you belong. We're going to make you a little chunkier. You belong right there. Okay. So my bird is sitting there. Great. So now what I want to do is I want to go and get my lines. But before I do that, what do I want to do? I want to add another layer. And this time I want to be, let's put it right here for now. We're going to do a layer number 3 and we're going to add. And again, we don't see anything. So this time we're going to go and get our lines. And we're going to go here where we find them. And we're going to say, I want these. So we're importing these. Whoops. I messed up there, guys. Sorry. We're going to import these lines. Great. Oh, wait a minute. Those are white. Do I want them white? Now, maybe you do. It could be. I don't. So I'm going to take those out, and I am going to go and look at my file, and I can see that they are black lines on a white background, but I don't want the white background anymore. So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go over here, and I believe all of computers with operating systems 10 and 11 have Paint 3D. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up Paint 3D. Here is our file. And so right now, this is what our file looks like. I am going to take off as much white space as I can. So what I mean is I can't go in there and take it off, but I can take it off as much on the outer perimeter as possible. And I say, yep, that's what I want. I want the black lines. So I'm going to go up here to Magic Select, and it's going to say, what do you want in there? This is where you want. What do you want? And it's picked up one black line for me. Okay, that's okay. Because then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this aspect right here, and I'm going to just say, I need to see it a little bit closer because I want this line and I want this. And if you want to make sure that you get left to right, just click close to what's already been selected. I can go over here, and it's sometimes, now this one is picking it up, but as you can see, it didn't pick that up entirely. So I go over here and I say, you know what, I want more of this line. And I want more, and I want more. I do want more. There. So now it says you can have all of that. But I want more than that. I want what's down here as well. Now, if this were computer generated or lines that were straight and 100% black, it would automatically pick those lines up. But I chose these lines because I want them to look as if I hand stamped them. So they have some different shades of black in them, and then as you can see, it's picking up a little white, which is fine. So we're just going to kind of make sure, because as you can see, we want to fill out to here. And I don't really have to. I mean, that's just my preference. There we go. I've got that much on that side. And if you get a spot where there isn't any black and you want to not take that, you can always go up here to undo. So undo that spot. Here we go. So it looks pretty even. I've got enough over here. I've got enough over here. So what I want to do is I'm just going to kind of back out of the zoom. There's this space right here. I always, let me just make sure I'm showing you. There's this space right here where it says auto background fill. I don't use that, so I take that off. Okay. So we're ready to say we want these, and we're done. Now what it's gone and done is you can tell in my frame, it's saying I've got these black lines. Here's what's not in your picture anymore. Here's what's in your picture. So what I want to do, and this is the step that I very often forget and have to go back in. So if you go up here to Canvas and you say, I want to see what's on the canvas. I want a transparent canvas. but I don't want to show the canvas. And there is what we are getting. So then I'm going to move back over here and I'm going to say, I want to now save this. I want to save it as an image, but I want the image, let me just move over here, as a ping file. That means that the transparency that you have created will bring, if you put it in this format in a PNG, it will bring that transparency along with your image. So it's kind of like you're putting it in a suitcase. So what I want to do, real quick, I want to adjust my framing, which means right now my image is this big and I don't need it to be. So I'm going to, I'm going to say 500. And how much? Let's see. Let's do, no, I think I'm going to leave it there. Actually, I'm just going to say 300. So that is just you saying this is how much of that image I want. And we could do less. We could do 400 and it'll bring it more in. So we're saying, okay, we're ready. That's good. And there is the image that I want. So I'm going to save this, making sure it's a ping. And the way that you can make sure that it's a ping, if it is not a ping, these spaces right here would show gray solid. The checkered background indicates it's transparent. And if I look up here, it says it's a ping. So now I'm going to say, yep, I want to save it. And I want to save it as transparent lines. And if you can see here, save as type, ping. So yep, that's what I want. So I'm now done with my lines. So I can go back out. Now, I want to go back into my Inkscape. And I think I'm ready for my lines. So I want to make sure that I'm on the right layer, because if you remember, the pink background is layer 1, the bird is layer 2, and I want to be on layer 3, which is where I am. If I switch, it will tell me, you're right now on layer 1, we're looking at the pink background. Layer 2, you've got the bird. So I want to be on layer 3. So what I want to do is I want to come over here. Oops, let's move over this side. And I want to import those lines, those transparent lines. And here they come. Okay. And here they come. Okay, so I want more. I like 3 lines, but you know what? I want 6 lines. Maybe I want 9 lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm making sure that I've chosen the lines, and I can tell that with the arrows. I'm going to come down and I'm going to do Control C, and that copies that piece, and then I'm going to hit Control V. And what that does is it gives me another set of lines. So there's my set of lines. I've got 2 sets, each of 3. So what I want to do, I want to come over here and I want to, whoops, I keep grabbing that. Yeah, I keep grabbing that background. And I think I saw that that happened earlier. So what I think I'm going to try and do Yeah, I just keep grabbing that. Well, I'll figure that aspect out. I wanted to move my lines, but right now I'm pretty happy with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this back up. And I've got my lines, and I'm pretty happy with it. So that is pretty much, yeah, what I want. I'm just going to try and grab these. I keep grabbing the background. That's okay. That'll be another video. So I'm ready. I love it. How am I going to get it to be paper? Let's get over to this side, and we're going to go up to here, File. And this, we're going to come down to Export, and we're going to take it. We're now going to move it out of Inkscape onto a picture or a file, and we're going to actually take it as we've created it, and we're going to take that entire thing and move it out where we can grab it. So if we go down here, I just always want to make sure that when I'm talking, you can see where I'm going. This button right here, this is what I call the path. It tells me where I'm going to be able to find this, because it's all great and dandy if you can move it, but you do want to find it in your computer. So this file folder right here says, here's all the places you can put it. I'm going to put it back into my desktop, back into my bingo file, and I'm going to name it the journal card. Okay, it is still going to remain a PNG ping. I don't mind that. You can make it a JPEG. I always just leave them in ping files. So I'm going to say I'm saving it. Great. So do I go and find it? Not yet. This particular screen right here, I make sure I hit OK. If you don't hit OK, you haven't completely saved your work. So you save OK. There was a little dialog box that came up and said exporting. So this is all great. I now have a picture, and it's the journal card, and there it is. Only thing is what do I want to do with it? Well, I want to print it out. So I am actually going to come down here to Word. Okay, and I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to open it up to a blank document. So when I bring in pictures, JPEGs, files, things of that nature that I want to print, again, I'm inserting. I'm saying I want a picture and I want it from my device. And I know where I put it because I took the time earlier to make sure I knew where it was. And here it is. It's the journal card. And so I say, hello, there's the journal card. Now, there is a ruler here and there's a ruler on this side. Okay, so what I want to make sure to do is I want to define what size I want. I could print it like this, but I want to define the size. So what I'm going to do, let me just make sure. Oh, let's just get off of that. Okay, so there's a little box over here that's saying, what do you want to do with this picture? Layout options. You're going to want to click that layout option, come down to where the second row all the way to the right, and it says, I want this in front of any text. That way I can put it over here, I can put it over there, I can rotate it if I wanted to, but I don't need to do any of that. all I want to do is I want to resize it. So if you grab the little points on the sides, you can make it as big or as small as you want it. But I only want this journal card to be 2 inches by 3 inches. So if I go to my, I don't know if we can see that. Let me just see. Yep, here's my ruler on this side, and this is showing that this is about 2 inches. And I want it 2 inches by 3 inches. That's actually a really small journal card, but that's okay. Let's do about 2.5 by 3.5. Okay, so there's my journaling card. Now, I'm going to say, let me just, nope, I don't have my printer on right now. But if I had my printer on, I would be able to print this out and it would give me a journal card about that size. So I hope this has helped you to begin to learn how to manipulate files so that you can create things in the portable formats so that you can print them out and make journal cards. I make all kinds of things via my computer, but I hope this has helped. If you have enjoyed this video, I hope that you will like and subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate you coming and joining me, and I hope you have a fantastic day.